it down for you. So I'm using an 8-kilo kettlebell, and that's pretty much all you need. I'm doing 1 round. I would suggest you do 2 rounds with a buy-in of 50 kettlebell swings and a buy-out of 50 kettlebell swings to just up the ante a little bit. So if you're looking for handstand programs and things like that, I gave away a free handstand program yesterday. So if you're looking to practice and grow your practice, then feel free to check out in the community section. There's a free handstand program. One of the biggest things that is often said to me is that I'm not strong enough to start handstands, I'm not flexible enough to start yoga. But the thing is, you can't go anywhere if you don't start. So you have to start somewhere. A lot of the time on social media, we have all of these wonderful workouts and people giving away things for free, but we never use them. So the reason we don't get results is we don't do the actions. It's all well and good to talk about it, but if we don't do it, we don't get it. Our life is the sum total of our choices and our thoughts, but if our actions don't come as a part of the process, then the results don't happen. And as little as 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference from nothing to something. That builds your habit. You always have time. If you're on this social media for 10 minutes and the average is 2 hours minimum a day, you have time, but you have to choose wisely where you put your time. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I've got my kettlebell of 8 kilos. The first thing I'm doing is going to be a clean and press. In this movement, I'm going to do a press. I'm going to swing it up into the rack position. I'm going to push it overhead, and then I'm going to come down into a surrender squat. I'm going to do 5 each side. So I'm going to hold the kettlebell here. From here, I'm going to swing it up. I'm going to take my arm out to the side, push it up, lock the elbow, extend the arm up, come to one side, and come down. Now, if you don't do any workouts, you could do this without any weights, okay? Up, out, up. This is also going to help with your handstands if you're working on handstand strength. 2. So when you're swinging, make sure you swing from the hips here, okay? It's not from your arm swinging, just to make sure. Pushing up, 3. If the only thing you come here to social media is to watch, then none of this is going to benefit you, okay? And no program is going to help you. You have to do the work. 4. And 5. Slow and controlled down, slow and controlled up. If you haven't done any exercise today and you do 1 rep, then you're helping yourself. So it's little things that make a big difference. From there, other side. Really push up and extend, keep your ribs in, keep your glutes tight, come down. 1. 2. 'Use your breath here on the exertion. 3. 4. 1 more. 5. Okay, so remember you could do all of this without a weight. Hands up. One side is coming down. Use your foot if you need support. Beginner, come down, come up, elevate up, hand comes down. So if you're a beginner going into this, you can have a really good workout with no equipment, okay? You don't have to be doing the full extent of all your workouts and everything like that. Results happen when you just do a little bit, you just do a small bit at a time. Lifting these weights, I've been doing 9 years of workout. It's not a 30-day program. It takes 6 weeks to change your fitness level and get good habits into it. So from there, I'm gonna do kettlebell swing. It's a check swing. the weight goes up really high, extend up, keep your ribs in. You can see my core is working. I'm going to do 20. So up, 1, 2, really good for the core, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, getting slippery, 9. This is really good if you practice pole or any grip strength as well in the kettlebell. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, nearly there, 19, 20. So each exercise that I do has my core, has the hips coming in and up. If you don't squeeze your underbutt, you're not going to get strength, and you're also going to put a lot of pressure into your lower back as you do it, okay? Again, I remind you, if you're looking to get fit and healthy, and the only thing is you're watching social media videos and or finding fault or anything like this, then you're not going to get fit and healthy. No perfect program will get you fit and healthy if you don't do the action. And if you say you don't have time, if you're sitting here watching the video, you have time. You just have to get up and do whatever you can. And like I said, so if you can't do that movement because you don't have a weight, you can do it like this and work the body line. This is like a hollow body. As long as you don't go like this into a banana back, you're really controlling your core and getting hollow body, which is perfect for handstands as well. Okay, so we're going to do a pass under to squat. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Sorry, pass under to deadlift. And you go under, pick it up, one side with your foot, hold both, and then you're going to come down. 1, you can do this without the weight, clap your hands here, come up, no weight, and this deadlift with no weight is also super hard. 2, 3, make sure your hips stay square to the ground. Whoa, there you go, there's the wobble. 4, and what I want you to see is a non-perfect workout as well. 5, because what you see always is this perfectly filmed workout. 6, but the reality is I might be able to do a handstand working towards one arm, and here I fall on a kettlebell if I don't concentrate. 7, it's important to see those things to understand that you don't get fit. I don't get abs by doing things perfectly. 8, I think. I'll make this one 8. I get them by consistently showing up and also making mistakes. This is 9. And down. And 10. So it's really important on a social media world where everything's perfect. The reality is we all go red. We all get challenged. We all get non-perfect situations, but we don't see it. So when we do our workouts and when we muck up, we think we're the only ones that don't do a good job. But the reality is that everyone has to have failures to grow. Everyone has fallen over. Everyone has things they can't do. But in a social media world, when you fill your head with reality of perfection, then you never see that the reality is there is no perfection in life. There's just people showing up and doing their best. So the next one after this is one arm kettlebell swings. We're going to do 30. I'm going to come into this position and up. 1, using your hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you really want a good workout, then you go a lot faster and you don't have these breaks. 9, 10. 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30. All right, so you should be really feeling this. If you can't and you don't have a kettlebell swing, what you could do is a step to the side, pulse, up. Step to the side, pulse, up. So what I'm doing is giving you alternatives that you can do. So a lot of people come and they say, well, I can't do this. Well, this isn't good for me. But you have to learn to adapt and to change the workouts. Every workout's phenomenal, but they're not going to be tailored to you because the person that's working out tailors to their best ability to a general population. So then if you're a beginner, you have to break it down a little bit more what you can do. If you're more advanced, maybe do 60 of these, you know, change it up, make it work for you. There is only you that can make anything work in your life and make success from it. So after that, the last one before another kettlebell swing is to bring the bell overhead into a snatch, do a squat, and then from there, bring it back down and swap sides, okay? So going to bring it overhead, push up here, squat down, bring it down, transfer to the other side, and up. Really extend the arm up, ribs are in, squat down, come down, and other side, 2. 3. 4. I'm losing count all the time. This is 5 for me. If I count wrong, I'm used to my yoga teacher doing that too. Now I've become one of those. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Whew. 10. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a burnout for 30 repetitions of pendulum swings and 20 repetitions of kettlebell swings. This is going to really burn your body. If you have knees that aren't operational for such a deep pose as a pendulum, you can go back to kettlebell swings. Again, if you don't have a kettlebell, you can do the 2 squats and still get a workout, or you could, if you want a little bit more cardio, jump down and up. Okay, plenty of options for you to substitute it for. So staying low for 30, keeping your bottom low. 1, keep your core tight to protect your back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15. Feeling the burn. 20. 'Going into kettlebell swings for 20. 10 to go. And the last one. Whew. So there is a quick kettlebell workout. Again, you can do 2 rounds. Really works the core, really works your cardio. I haven't seen any of the comments, so thank you for being here. Remember, there's plenty of workouts and fitness online. The most important thing for you, if you want to get fit, is to do something. What's the best exercise? The one that resonates with you and you show up consistently. No results happen if you don't show up. So remember that as you go through. Enjoy the journey. Wish you a great day full of magic. And I'll see you next time. Link below for all my socials. Plenty of workouts. When you comment in the videos and tell me what you're looking for, how you're going, I can also tailor some of the content for the things that you're needing, like hip flexors and all of those things as you need them, so, or glutes or cardio. So please make sure you do that as well. Thank you very much for the great teaching. Thank you so much. Ich rede ein bisschen Deutsch, aber mein Deutsch ist blond, sollte ich sagen. Ich habe in der Schweiz gewohnt vor 6 Jahren, aber der Schweizer Deutsch ist schon anderes. Sonst ich probieren, aber ich weiß, dass meine Grammatik ist nicht so gut. So, danke schön für die Nachricht. So yeah, a little bit of German from living in German-speaking countries, but I have to say it's probably my blonde dialect, so I'm not sure it's very understandable, but I hope that helps. And your English was amazing, so please, thank you for taking the time for English. I will wish you a great day full of magic. Remember, the hardest thing about fitness, the hardest thing about results, the hardest thing about growing is that it's hard. And I've shared this before. It's hard starting here. And we start here whether we're growing or we're moving away from growth. If we're not doing, let's use exercise, nutrition, mental health, and these types of things as example. And I wrote about this. It's hard to start. It's hard to live life. It's hard to be human. We start from hard. Life is the art of suffering well. And what that means is that to suffer well, we have to choose our hard wisely. Some hard leads to more hardships, and some hard leads to growth and evolution and getting closer to our goals. So when we do hard, if we do this, for example, hard, I'm tired, I don't like where I am, I'm not happy with my body, my mental health is playing on me, I feel anxious, I feel depressed, my nutrition is poor, it's not supporting me, I'm putting on weight. Hard. I don't do any exercise, I don't change my diet, I don't do some breathing or work on my mental health by reading some books, I don't reach out to family and friends and tell them how I am, and a year from then, what happens? My mental health is worse, my body conditioning is even worse, I feel less happy, my anxiety and depression hasn't gone away or it's gotten worse, my nutrition has not supported me to lose weight, and I am still stuck at hard, if not more hard, because I'm further from my goals, worse in my mental disposition, and worse in my body disposition to support my life to feel better. Let's start again at hard. Now let's go the opposite direction, hard. It's hard, I'm tired, I'm exhausted too. I don't have time, really, I feel like it, but I know I have 10 minutes because here I am sitting with Rhyanna. She's talking on YouTube and I've sat here for 10 minutes. So I'm going to do a 10-minute workout every day for a year or yoga. Because I have 10 minutes, but I need to make time. So I make that time, and I'm tired, but I do it. And suddenly as I'm working out, I feel a little bit better. It's really hard changing my diet. So each day in the week, I choose to focus, for one day a week, I choose to focus on first breakfast, and then for 1 month. And then in next month, I focus on, I've changed my breakfast, I changed my lunch. So I'm changing in small increments, a little bit healthier. So breakfast used to be a coffee and a croissant. I changed it to a coffee and an apple. For the first month, I changed that. The rest stayed the same. Lunch was a packet of chips or some big juicy sandwich, which really was a little bit too much content, or it could have been too many avocados. If you eat too many avocados, you put on weight. So you change the diet to a more healthier version of a diet that you can eat for lunch. And then in a month from there, you change your dinner. And then a month from there, you've changed one snack, then the other snack. And in 5 months, you've changed your whole diet, right? So that's 6 months down the track from this year. So you've got your exercise, you're making time, you've changed your diet very slowly, moderately. You've worked on your breath. You just take a breath every now and again. Instead of I'm depressed, you realize You can't control the weather, but you do know that blue skies and sunshines come. You can't control your mind, thoughts happen, but you do know if you breathe and you don't attach to the thoughts that you start to feel a little better. You don't attach to the emotions. You start to realize that the emotions come and go too, just like the clouds and the storms of life. And by breathing through it, you start to train your mind like you do one push-up or one Liegestütz, 1, 2, 3, you change your mind, 1 breath, 2 breaths. Suddenly you can sit and watch the sun rise without picking up your phone. Suddenly you're reading a book rather than just sitting on social media complaining, and so on and so forth. Small increments. Suddenly every time someone gets upset with you, you breathe rather than yell back at them. You've changed now your diet, you've changed now your exercise, you've changed now a little bit of breathing. They're all very small things. You reached out your family, you told them what you're doing, you told them you love them, you thanked them for the support. Every time they send a message, instead of going on social media and scrolling, you choose to respond to them rather than scroll and choose to go into your darkness and ghost, which is a lot of us. We tend to talk to strangers rather than our loved ones because we take them for granted. So we've changed all of that, and it's taken 6 months just to change your diet. You've only done 10 minutes a day of exercise because you realize you can make time because you're here listening to me for 10 minutes. It's tiring, it's hard, but in a year, you're much healthier, you're much happier, you're much more in control of your life. Your anxiety and depression is not as overwhelming. Your fitness has improved, your motivation has improved, your relationships with your family have improved. You started both from hard, both from tired, both from poor habits. One you stayed in poor habits and kept having poor habits. The other, you changed your habits slowly. 2 different hards, both staying in the same place, yield completely different results. And you don't have to do it in a 30-day program. You don't have to do it in 2-hour workouts. So please think of it like that, okay? And the problem and the really hard bit about it is that I've been exercising for 9 years. So people go and do a New Year's resolution and can't keep it, and they say, oh, it's easy for you. 9 years is not easy. If you try and do a New Year's resolution and you've always failed, 80% of gym memberships in America remain not used. Why? Because it's hard changing. But we don't associate enough pleasure to the growth. And we don't like to go through adversity anymore because in an instant gratification culture, all we want is everything now, now, now. If we don't have the 30 days and everything, we can do the splits and handstands and have a body of design, then it didn't work. But the truth is, it's selling you a lie. It doesn't take 30 days to get the splits. It took me 4 or 5 years. It doesn't take 30 days to get handstands. Maybe if you're super lucky, I'm not sure. It took me 7 years to get to where I am with my handstands. It doesn't take 30 days to get a body and then you no longer exercise. You will lose that. You have to continually do it. Fitness is not a 30-day or attaining a goal or a body. Fitness is a lifestyle of consistently showing up. And it's not a 2-hour thing. It can be simply a 10-minute thing and a breath by breath, and maybe you get more time thing. And a little bit of changing of your diet, like I said, over 6 months. So don't get led into the fallacy or the fault or the drawing card of instant, because it doesn't exist. There's emotional intelligence and social intelligence. And those two aren't really looked at in schools, but they're very, very supportive to our environment. And then there's the intelligence that you have in schools where a lot of people get celebrated for. And now they finally come up with the ability to look at adversity intelligence, where people continue to struggle through their life and get through adversity. And on the other side of adversity, even though their life has fallen apart and challenges that happen, they're still making a goer of it and they're still getting results. And nobody has adversity anymore because you can go to the store and buy everything on credit card, but when you get your credit card bill and you can't pay it, then you feel like the end of the world. But no one told you don't have to have the best and the newest of everything to get fit, to get healthy, to anything. If you want to get fit and healthy, you have everything you need here free on social media. I had none of this when I started. I had to get up and do it myself. I don't have a personal trainer. At 5 a.m. I stand up and I start training. Not because I love it, and not every day at least, and not because I'm not tired. I'm super tired, and then I have to go to work, and then I have to raise my daughter, and then I have to do things. Not because I have time, I'd much rather sleep in, but I know if I sleep in and I don't get my training results, then I'll be much more unhappy. My mental health will be worse, and I haven't really done a productive tired, right? We're all tired. We've all got hardships. But choose your hard, the hard where you don't change and you get worse and worse, or the hard where you change slowly over small increments of time and it becomes a lifestyle and you get more balanced and more moderation and more joy rather than more struggle. The art of suffering well is choosing your heart. So I hope that helped a little bit. And again, if you've been here and you're not getting fitness results and you ask me what the greatest exercise is, do something on this. That's a start. I also showed modifications. But if you choose to not do it, then you chose the hardship of in a year from now going worse than you are. If you chose to do one exercise or some movement, you chose a year from now to growing to where you are. It's hard either way. But the hardest thing is, and that's what I tell some of my clients, the hardest thing is that it's an ego thing. We can make as many excuses and regrets. At the end of the life, your life is going to be the sum total of your excuses and regrets. Or you can make choices and decisions and work at it, and at the end of the life, your sum total is going to be there of course, struggling through it, but getting great results and changes and better tomorrows. It's a choice. And the problem is that we're all looking outside of us saying, well, her lighting wasn't good, her outfit wasn't good, this workout didn't work for me because my knees hurt, this wasn't hard enough, this was too easy, she talked a different language, she did this. But the reality is you could unfollow me, follow someone with your language. You could find a beginner workout that better suits you. You could find a workout that works for your knees. You could find someone, if it's really an issue, that has better lighting or a better voice. You can choose over so many different people here online. So again, that's not the issue of the person you're following or the workout that's causing you the problem. The issue is you not being wise with your choices and showing up. And that was something I had to learn too. I kept wondering why I felt depressed and anxious. And I wrote about this in my book, and it was because I was never breathing. I was doing yoga thinking yoga was going to help, but I never did the meditation side of things, and it led me to be very, very dark and very, very uncomfortable in my life. And when I started to breathe again, and I took responsibility for that side, not just movement, then my life started to change because I worked on my mindset. Our mind is our battlefield too. Fitness is not just a body, it's also a battlefield. And many people that have beautiful bodies are not happy because they're so stressed and overwhelmed and their mind is going 100 miles an hour and they don't feel at peace with themselves and never enough. So it's never going to be that you're going to get a perfect body and you're going to be happy. It's going to be that you're going to work from fitness from the inside, and your body and your health and your feelings are going to change, and as you feel better, everything else is going to come together. So self-love is self-discipline. So good habits and bad habits are both the same amount of work, but one yields worse tomorrows, one yields better tomorrows. And good habits are the ones that pick you up when you don't feel motivated. All right? Thank you for joining me. But I have a problem with my spine. So when you have, danke for the Deutsch, when you have problems with your spine and things like that, obviously it's important to speak to a doctor and stuff like this, but if you contact me and share me a little more information, I don't have enough time to read it now. I can definitely have a look and see if there's any recommended exercises for you, and also try and do some videos on that. Of course, I'm not a doctor, and that's important to understand. I can only give you guidelines, but you have to make sure you're following the advice of your doctors so you don't get injured as well or rehab. My dad actually shattered his femur, and he has a metal rod in his femur, and the doctors told him he would never ever walk again. So he had crutches, and he walked 8 kilometers a day on these crutches, and now at 70 he's walking, he's surfed again, he's ridden his bicycle again. So there is definitely abilities to grow. That's just one case. And my brother, for example, he had a hip and he was told he would never run again. He had a hip operation, stress fracture in his hip. He's running the Hawaiian Marathon this year. So I'm not saying that everybody's going to end up the same, but there's phenomenal things happening with people that are trying to find a way with their body and their health when we used to be told that that's it for us. So at nearly 40 for me, I'm in more health, better shape, more fitness than I've ever been, and I never imagined having this type of flexibility or strength or control. I came from a running background, and swimming background. I had no dance experience. I started at 31, so 9 years ago. My flexibility, touching the toes was hard, headstands couldn't do, leg behind the head, splits, handstands, none of that. This has been a 9-year process. So as again, you know, I really want to help as many people as I can. Of course, you know, this is also, I provide free content here on YouTube, free on Instagram. My qualifications are in personal training and yoga. And of course, I also take clients, but I will try and help where I can, but I can only do so much. But if you ever have, you know, things that you're needing help with, if I see them and you write in the comments, I will try and help when time permits. With working and having a child too, it can be hard to do it all in a 24/7 world, but I'll definitely try. Thank you so much for your kind words. Well, I'm gonna go. I've got to get back to life and work and that kind of stuff. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here on this live. I wish you a great Friday. I wish you a great weekend, and I will see you again soon, I hope. Ciao.